Boom! 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 Boom!
Graduation is here.
Take it away! Woo! Even though it's British, I'm gonna throw Abraham Lincoln in there. Don't forget Mr. Pycone! Pycone with the boat! Hey, dinosaur! Woo! Yeah! Alright, thanks for making it back. Here we go. So that's where we finish up on that page. We're jumping over now. Do you remember how to find the inverse? This is pretty easy. It's going to be on the test. So to find the inverse, all you do is switch the x and y. Switch the x's and y's, and then solve for y. Way-o, solve for y. So we're going to go ahead and switch the x's and y's now for you. So y is going to go there, and x is going to go there. So x equals square root of 3y minus 4. Now we have to solve for y. How do we solve for y? We're going to go ahead and power 2 both sides first. Boom. So that gives us x squared is equal to 3y minus 4. Then we're going to go ahead, of course, and add 4 to the other side. So now we have x squared plus 4 is equal to 3y. Last but not least, we're going to divide by 3. Divide by 3. And there we go. There it is. So now we have f, so we have y is equal to x squared plus 4 over 3. That's this guy right here. And so that's f negative 1 of x, saying the inverse, which is x squared plus 4 over 3. Woo! Got the inverse. Whoops. Say that again. X squared plus 4 over 3. Woo! Got the inverse. Boom. Find the inverse of each function. So now you try. Switch the x's and y's and solve for y. Do you remember how to graph polynomials? Do you remember? That'll be on there. That'll be on there. Remember degree? So degree is the highest power. And when it's in multiplication form, we have to basically multiply them all. So that's going to be negative x squared times x to the third power times x squared. So that's going to be negative x to the 2 plus 3 plus this is 7. So the degree is 7. The end behavior is like that, going up and then down. So that's the end behavior. And then you need your x-intercepts. And so the degree here, of course, the highest power, which is 4. You need your x-intercepts. This one you're going to have to pull out an x squared. You're going to have to factor this sucker. Yeah, factor it. Pull out an x squared. Pull out an x squared plus 2x minus 15. And you're going to have to factor that more to get your x-intercepts. Over here, it's already factored for you. You have negative x squared equals 0, and x minus 1 equals 0, and x plus 2 equals 0. So divide by negative there, so x squared equals 0. Let's see, so square root that. So x equals 0 is one of our x-intercepts. Add 1 to the other side. So that's another x-intercept. And minus 2 to the other side. So that's another x-intercept. But does it bounce? Boing, boing, boing. Does it bounce or does it cross through? Right? Does it bounce or cross through? So it depends on the power. So if it's an even power, so even power means that it bounces. Remember? It means that it bounces. And here's our end behavior. So it's going to go up and to the left and down to the right. And at negative 2, it's going to bounce. No, it's at 0. At 0, it's going to bounce. At x minus 1, which is the third power, which is odd. And so odd means cross through. And then even, there it is. There's another even. Even means to bounce. Because this came from an even power. An even power means you need to bounce. Yo, let's bounce. Okay, so at -2 it's going to bounce, and it's going to bounce to 0, and then cross through. Boom! So you try now. You try even, odd bouncing. You got this, you got this, you got this. Write a possible equation for the graph. Well, this is -1, this is 0, and this is 1, 2. So that came from then, x equals -1. So if you reverse engineer that, it's actually going to be an x plus 1 as a factor. So that's this guy. This one is 0, so it's going to be an x, it's going to be an x. And then this one over here is an x equals 2. We're going to reverse engineer that back into factored form. Boom! It's cross through, cross through, cross through. So then we get y equals, write a possible equation. So x plus 1, x minus 2 is definitely a possible equation. Definitely a possible equation. Bounce at -2. That means to bounce. So that means that x plus 2 is probably going to be squared. And then that's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to cross through, cross through. So -1 is probably going to be odd. And opposite sign number. Remember, it's opposite sign to put it back into factored form. Yeah. So there's our equation. Y equals boom. How many times can I say boom in one video? Boom. Complete the square. Remember how to complete the square and see the vertex form? Well, you send the 10 over to the other side, and then you have x squared minus 8x. So then you have to take the b, divide by 2 and square it. It's called completing the square. So then, let's see, our b value is -8. So -8 divided by 2 is -4. And -4 squared is actually 16. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 16. But we're going to balance it out on this side by minusing 16. So that's going to equal it's going to be -6, not equal, it's -6. Over here, that's going to be a special factor now. What are factors of 16? 4 and 4. The negative times the negative is a positive. So there's 2 of them. And then we bring down our -6. I completed the square vertex form. And state the vertex. +4. -6 is the vertex. That's the vertex. So now you try, right? Over here, you try. Yeah, you try. You try the harder one. Yeah, you try. So you're going to send that 7 away. Take the b. Oh, we actually have to divide by 3 first before we can do this one. That's evil. So we're going to pull out a 3 basically, is what we're doing there. And so we divide 3 out. So we pull a 3 out. Maybe we divide by 3. Ooh. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Don't worry about this one, no worries. Because that's a tough one. I don't want to take your time too much with that one. It was cray-cray. Do you remember how to do long division or synthetic division? Woo! Do you remember? Do you remember how to do long division, synthetic division? So use the opposite sign, don't forget. This will be on the test. So x equals a +2. Upside down house, each of these you're going to bring down, right? You're going to bring down the 1 and the -4. I'm trying to do a 4. So a 1 and a 4, it's negative, and an 8, and a -16, and a +16. And so you're going to bring all those down. Boom, you like that? That was sick, right? Okay, so first, you bring down the 1. Then you times. 2 times 1 is 2. -4 and 2 is a -2. 2 times -2 is a -4. 2 minus 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So we get a -8. And 2 times -8 is -16. We're going to factor to 0. Find each quotient and remainder. Right? So it's 1 power less. Remember this? Do you remember this? Do you remember this? 1 power less.
Did you remember it's 1 power less?
1 power less. So that's going to be 1. Bring down your 1 there. So 1x to the 3rd power minus 2x squared plus 4x minus 8. And so remainder is 0. Yes, it is a factor. Yes, it is a factor. Okay, now you try. Now that I showed you how to do it, you try now. You try. You got this. You got this. You try. Synthetic division, long division, whatever you prefer. Okay, you inherited $28,500. We're going to use compound interest. So that's going to be A is equal to the principal times 1 plus the rate over the number of compounds to the number of compounds times the time. So that's our target. A is our target, and P is our starting money. Okay, so that's going to be 28,500. 1 plus the rate. Our rate is 0.055 is our rate. 0.055 divided by how much money will you have in 15 years if your interest is compounded. So what's semi-annually? Semi-annually? Welcome to the semi-annual general conference. What? That's 2. Oh yeah, twice a year. And then we have also up here 2, and then times, because it goes here and here, and then times the number of years, 15 years. There we go, boom. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in our calculator, and maybe change it from monthly to 12. Let's put it over here. Remember how to do this? So 28,500 times 1 plus, I'll probably do a parenthesis there. Parenthesis, close parenthesis. To the 2 times 15, which of course is 30. And we get 64,313. So 64,313. 0.149 or 0.15. Boom, dollars. So after 15 years, compounded twice a year, we jump up our money like crazy in 15 years. Boom, that's such a high interest rate. So how would you change to monthly? Second enter brings up the last thing that you did. So to change to monthly, you would change the number of compounds. So second insert, let's say 12 times a year. And down here, let's say second insert 12 times a year. And then that would compound it slightly more. 64,911.14. So that'd be 64,911.14. Good. And then continuously, so continuously would be like 100 compounds. Or number of compounds equals like 100 or 1,000. So there's a faster way to do it. It's using E. And so that would just go ahead and be E to the rate times the time, which is 0.055 times the time, which our time is 15 years. Let's give that a try. So that's 28,500, right? Times E, second E, which is 2.71828, to the 0.055 times 15, and so this will be continuously, and it's even more, 65,033.6. So 65,033.6, $33.6, even more. Boom, boom. Good job, you guys. Good. Do you remember without using a calculator how to find indicated Treg ratio by drawing a reference triangle? Or you're going to circle with a point. So 30 degrees is about here. Remember how to do it? So then 30 degrees is about there. So we say what? Opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. And so do you remember what 30 degrees is? So 30 degrees has a side length equal to 1. And adjacent equal to radical 3, and hypotenuse equal to 2. 30, 60, 90. So find the indicated ratio. So that's going to be sine, which is what? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite 1 over hypotenuse 2. Well, Sine 30 degrees. Sometimes it works with the calculator, depending on what mode you're in, and sometimes not. So there's your sine 30 degrees equals a half. Boom. Secant of 5 pi over 4, so that's 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, there it is, 5 pi over 4. Okay, so that's down here. And pi over 4 is roughly what, 45 degrees? So this will also be 45 degrees, and it's a 45, 45, 90, with 1, 1, negative, negative, radical 2. So then secant is 1 over cosine. So that means hypotenuse over cosine. So hypotenuse over adjacent is what we're looking at. So that's going to be hypotenuse radical 2. Hypotenuse is radical 2 over adjacent, which adjacent is negative 1. So just negative radical 2 is our answer. Okay, you try now. You try. You try. You try. You try. Try through 41. Try 42. You try. You try. Boom. Boom. Okay, you're doing good. You're doing good. It's like a marathon. You got this. Do you remember how to graph? Do you remember how to graph these? Do you remember what they even look like? So sine, remember? Sine, it goes 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0. So we go 0, 1, 0, negative 1, back to 0. So that's sine. And so this is going to shift it. So we have to times it by the amplitude first. So times it by a half all the way across. And so that's going to be what? 0, a half, 0, negative half, 0. 0, a half, 0, negative half, 0. But then, right, then you have to minus 2 all the way across. That's going to flip it upside. No, it's going to shift it down. It's going to shift it down. Right? It's going to take your sine, basically, and it's going to shift it down to, basically, right? But then the half is also going to shrink it. So that half then, right there, is also going to shrink it. So that's a negative 1.5 is going to be your maximum, 0. And then minimum is at negative 2.5. So there it goes, and then back to 0. And you erase the bigger one. Erase the bigger one, because this just goes not very much there. Just at negative 2.5. Cool. So again, that was going to be what? Negative 2, negative 1.5, which we just discussed. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2.5, and then negative 2 again. Our y values. What are our x values? Well, 0. What's our b value? Our b value is a 1. Since our b value is a 1, that means the period is 2 pi over b. So the period is 2 pi over the b value. 2 pi over b, where our b is just a 1. So 2 pi over 1, which is just 2 pi. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go 2 pi. Half of 2 pi is 1 pi. Half of 1 pi is pi over 2. 1 pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2. Okay, you try now. You try. This is going to be negative cosine. It's going to go all the way to 4 pi. Because our b value of a half means 2 pi over b, which is going to be 4 pi. And then upside down. And how do you do cosine upside down? So you do cosine upside down with negative 1 this time. All the way to 4 pi, right? All the way to 4 pi. So what that means to do basically, it means to touch that 1 there. And then back to 4 pi. Ooh. Just kind of rushing there. Okay, solve the trig value. You remember how to do this? Remember how to solve the trig value? Okay, so you're going to divide by 2, divide by 2. So we have cosine theta is equal to a half. And then, okay, so we solved. Now we just do trying to find the trig value. So where's cosine equal to a positive 1/2? So cosine is positive here as well as here. And then what's 1/2? What is cosine? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent 1 over hypotenuse 2. And that means it's supposed to be radical 3. And across from the long leg is 60 degrees. 60 degrees. So what are our isolated draw label all reference triangles? So our reference triangles then are going to be 60 degrees as our answer. Oh, 0 to 2 pi. So 60 degrees, which is equal to pi over 3 is our answer. And then we go all the way around to this one, which is basically 360 minus 60, so 300 degrees. And so what is 300 degrees? I think that's 10 pi over 6. You go 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6. And I guess that reduces, divide by 2, divide by 2. So that reduces to 5 pi over 3. So those are our two answers there. Circle in red, boom, boom. So now you try. Don't forget when you square root both sides, you're going to get plus or minus. And that means the butterfly or the bow tie. You try. You try. You got 4 answers to come up with. 4 answers. Way-o. You're staying on top of an 80-foot tower. Woo! 80 feet tall. The angle of depression going down, which is this angle of depression, is 23 degrees. Angle of depression is this angle right here. And then to determine the length of the zip line from the tower to the bullseye. There's the bullseye. So call it x. And so if this is the angle of depression, then down here is also the angle of depression. And so that means going from this way, which is 23 degrees, it's going to be opposite over hypotenuse. And so which trig function goes with opposite over hypotenuse? Do you remember opposite over hypotenuse? Yeah, do you remember? Do you remember? It's sine. So sine of the angle, 23 degrees, is equal to opposite 80 over hypotenuse x. So how do we get x out of the bottom? So to get x out of the bottom, we have to multiply it over to the other side and then divide by the sine 23. So 80 divided by sine 23. So you want to plug that into your calculator to figure out what x is. So x equals 80 divided by sine 23, which is 204.7. Kiss FM. So 204.7, is that feet? Foot, tower? This is foot. Foot, 10th of a foot. So feet. Boom, that's the hypotenuse. That's the zip line. That's a long zip line. I wish I had that zip line. That would be so much fun. Okay, so now number 48, you try. You try. You try. You try, you try, you try. I can't do them all for you. I gotta go home. It's 8:35 at night. What the? You try. You try. I think the sides of the triangle parcel are 200, 500, and 600. What's the parcel? Area of the parcel. So first you have to find S by adding up those all together. So 600 plus 200 plus 500, that's 1100, 1200, 1300 divided by 2. So 1300 divided by 2 is 750, 650, 650. Now you're going to use this formula here. So this one goes with this formula, and this one goes with this formula. Right? Crisscross will make you jump, jump, uh-huh. We're going to do 650. Should we double check it? I don't want to lead you astray. It's 8, 9, 10, 12, 1300. Yep. 60, 600, 12. Yeah, it should be 13. Cool. Okay, so then you do 650 minus little a, which is 200, times 650 minus the next one, 500. And finally, the last one, 650 minus 600. Nice. So plug all that into your calculator, and that will give you the area for number 49. You plug it in. You plug it in. That'll get you the area. You plug it in. This one, of course, is angle, side, angle, side, angle, side. So that means you can just do 1/2 times 35 times 23 times sine of the angle, 36. Plug it into your calculator. Plug it in. Plug it in. Great plug in. Use the law of sines or cosines to solve for x. We just did this recently. So you know how to do this. You know how to do this, right? It's side, 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 which means to use the law of cosines. So you could call this like x, I guess. So we have 12 squared is equal to the other two sides squared and added minus minus 2 times those sides, just multiply together, times cosine of the angle we're trying to find, right? So 8 squared is 64 plus 49, and you're going to minus it over with 144. You remember how to do this? Pause me. You try, you know what you're doing. Pause me. We're going to do 144 minus 64 minus, is it 49? Yeah, minus 49. So that's going to give us 31. So we have 31. So we have 31 is equal to, now we're going to do these, so 7 times 8 is 56, and 56 times a negative 2, just in case, let's do that on the calculator. I think it's 112, is it? Boom. So we get 100 negative 112 times cosine of x. Now you cannot add it to the other side, no. You have to divide it, So divide the negative 12 to the other side. Then you're going to inverse cosine. Inverse cosine, and that'll get you the answer to that, to get x, to get that angle. So we go inverse cosine of 31 divided by negative 112. Boom! 106.1 equals 106.1 degrees. Nice. Boom. Oh, wait, sound. Nope, it's gone again. Sound is gone. Sound is gone. Sound is gone, and so am I. Woo! Oh, are you still there?
Hi, you can barely hear me now. Oh wow, sound is gone. Oh, no, it's dead. Turn it off.
Everybody's tired, time to go home. Okay, so thanks for watching. So keep on going. You're almost there. So use the law of sines, use the law of cosines. Find this missing angle, 180 minus 59 minus 85. Get that angle here. Boom. And then use the law of sines. Then use law of sines. Use the law of sines next. So that would be 59 and 85. So 59 plus 85, and then 180 minus those two gives us 36. So this is 36 degrees. We're going to use this with the side, right? To find another side, maybe this side, maybe. So solve for x. We also have 59 and 8, so that's going to work for us. So you can do x over sine 36 is equal to 8 over sine 59. Remember how to use the law of sines? Law of sines. Law of sines! You're going to multiply the sine 36 over to the other side and plug it in your calculator. Way-o. Plug it in, Blade plug in. So plug that into your calculator. You get 8 times sine 36 divided by sine 59, which gives us 5.485. So 5.48 or 5.5. 5.48 or 5.5. There's 10th. Nice. That's going to be what x equals. Boom. Yeah, you got this. Yeah, do you remember to graph these? We did this recently. How to graph these. Consider the sequence. So we're going to go ahead and skip these for now, or check the paper maybe. Maybe skip, maybe not. Ask me in class. Ooh, maybe skip this whole thing. This is chapter 11. Chapter 11, did we skip it? Did we skip it this year? Did we skip it this year? Did we skip it this year? Give it a try. Maybe I helped you with that already. Yeah, maybe I helped you already. I think I did this already. Did this already, right? I think I did. Did this already? Slope of the line. Minus 8x to the other side. And then divide by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. And so the slope will be 8/5. Yeah. The midpoint is 5 radical 3 plus negative radical 3 all over 2. And then this plus this one. So negative 6 radical 7 minus, so that's actually plus a negative 4 radical 7 divided by 2. And so 5 minus 1 is 4 radical 3 over 2. Negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10 radical 7 over 2. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2 radical 3. And then negative 5 radical 7. Boom! Last page, here we go. 2 concentric circles. Radius of the circle is 8 and 6. What is the area of the shaded region? So bigger circle minus the smaller circle. Smaller circle. Right? So the big circle is pi r squared, so pi 8 squared minus pi 6 squared. So that's 64 pi minus 36 pi. And so what's 64 minus 36? Is 28 pi. Equals 28 pi. If it's asking for the area, what is the area? Pi r squared is the area of a circle, pi r squared. Nice. Identify the center and the radius. Here's your center. And what's our radius? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a radius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a radius of 5. And we have a center of negative 4 at 1. So then you'd go like x plus 4 all squared plus y minus 1, opposite sign, all squared, equals 5 squared, which is 25. Nice, I like it. I like it. Keep on trying these, similar triangles. Ooh, square feet of rectangle, find the dimensions of a rectangle shown below, find an expression for the area. So that's just x plus 5 times 3x minus 4. And so you're just going to be it through. So 3x times x is 3x squared minus 4x plus 15x minus 20. So 3x squared minus, ooh, that's going to be 15 minus 4. Is that minus 11x? Plus 11x minus 20. So that's not too bad. I can see that being on the test. So then there's similar triangles. Find the largest side. That's the largest side here. So we'll call it x. So we'll go x over 11.25 is equal to its largest side over its similar side. And then you just multiply 11.25 to the other side. Multiply by 11.25 over the other side. Boom, and get our answer there. I think our last one, I'm not sure if we have time for it, probably not. This is a super good review, you guys. So thanks for being with me today. Thanks for being with me. Let's finish her off. So we got 20.7 times 11.25. Push enter and then divided by 15. And so we get 15.525. So 15.525 is our answer for the largest side. Wayo! Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't have time. Ran out of time for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Ask me about this one in class. Woo! Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. I will miss you over the summer. Yeah, here's a heart for you. Miss you over the summer. Thanks for watching. Woo! Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Bye. See you next year. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.